Hi everyone, let's get into the Black History Factor today. We are going to be talking about Elizabeth Freeman, better known as Mom Bett. We're going to get into her history and let's get into it. So, in the wake of the Revolutionary War, African Americans took their cause to state houses and courthouses where they vigorously fought for their freedom and the abolition of slavery. Elizabeth Freeman, better known as Mom Bett, an enslaved woman in Massachusetts whose husband died fighting during the Revolutionary War, was such a visionary. The new Massachusetts Constitution of 1780 stated that all men are born free and equal and have certain natural, essential, and unalienable rights, among which may be reckoned the right of enjoying and defending their lives and liberty. Arguing that slavery violated this sentiment, Bute sued for her freedom and won. After the ruling, Bute changed her name to Elizabeth Freeman to signify her new status. Her precedent-setting case helped to effectively bring an end to slavery in Massachusetts. Let's say her name. Let's get into it a little bit further. Her case marked the beginning of a group of freedom suits that would ultimately lead the Massachusetts Supreme Judiciary Court to outlaw slavery in their state. So let's talk a little bit about her history. So Mrs. Freeman was born in Clarkville, Columbia County, New York, as a slave. Although her exact birth date is unknown, it is believed that she was born around the year 1744. She grew up on the plantation of Peter Hoggaboom with her younger sister, Lizzie. When Hoggaboom's daughter married Colonel John Ashley, he gave Freeman and her sister to the new couple. During her time at the Ashleys, Miss Freeman gave birth to a daughter, but the identity of the father is unknown. Although she could not read or write, Freeman was clever and strategic. It is reported that Mrs. Ashley was cruel to her slaves. One day she attempted to strike the Bute sisters with a heated kitchen shovel. Bute protected her sister by blocking Mrs. Ashley's strike, but received a serious wound on her arm that never healed. Instead of covering her arm, she left her wound visible as evidence of her mistreatment. Bute was determined to gain her freedom. Her master, Colonel Ashley, was a wealthy citizen of Sheffield, Massachusetts. He served as a judge on the Berkshire Court of Common Pleas. In January of 1973, he moderated the local committee that wrote the Sheffield Declaration. This declaration was approved on January 12, 1973. It stated that mankind in a state of nature are equal, free, and independent of each other and have a right to undisturbed enjoyment of their lives, their liberty, and property. This same language was used in the United States Declaration of Independence of 1976 and in Massachusetts Constitution on 1780. Evidence suggests that Bute overheard these ideas when Colonel Ashley held events in his home and when the documents were read out loud in the public square. Seeking freedom, Bute turned to Theodore Segsworth, a prominent attorney who helped draft the Sheffield Declaration with Colonel Ashley. I don't know why I was saying Colonel. It's Colonel. Colonel Ashley held events in his home. So Bett, alongside with an enslaved man named Broom, began the process of fighting for their freedom. Historians note that Segsworth, along with many of the lawyers in the area, decided to use the case as a test case to determine if slavery was constitutional under the new Massachusetts Constitution. In May of 1781, Segsworth and his team filed a document called a writ of replevant with the Berkshire Court of Common Pleas. This document ordered Colonel Ashley to release Bett and Broom. The Berkshire Court stated that Bett and Broom were not Colonel Ashley's legitimate property. However, he refused to release them from his possession. By August 1781, the case went to County Court of Common Pleas of Great Barrington in the case known as Broom and Bett versus Ashley. During the case, Segsworth argued that the Massachusetts Constitution outlawed slavery. The jury agreed with Segsworth and decided that Bett and Broom were not Colonel Ashley's property. Bett and Broom were set free and awarded 30 shillings in the cost of the trial. Colonel Ashley filed an appeal to the Supreme Judiciary Court, but dropped his case a few months later. His decision was likely informed by the Quock-Walker trials that declared slavery incompatible with the new Massachusetts Constitution. Once she gained her freedom, Mom Bett changed her name to Elizabeth Freedom. Colonel Ashley asked her several times to return to his home as a paid servant, but she declined. She became a paid domestic worker in Segsworth's household instead. Freeman also worked as a prominent healer, midwife, and nurse. After 20 years, she was able to buy her own home where she lived with her children. Elizabeth Mom Bett Freeman died on December 28, 1829, and was buried in the Segsworth family plot in Stocksburg, Massachusetts. She is believed to have been 85 years old and is the only non-Segsworth buried in the inner circle of the Segsworth family plot. That is beautiful. And this is a cautionary tale to African Americans. You go where you are treated and where you are respected. You see how she said no to her slave master, but she went right on with her lawyer that fought the good fight and supported her and was a servant, and on top of that was buried on their family plot. That woman was like family to that family. Period. Say her name out loud.